Hello and welcome to your first web development course. My name is Daniel and I'm 25 years old and I will be the instructor for this course. Before I continue, I want to thank you for enrolling in this course. I will work to the best of my ability to make sure that the tools that you learn in this course after each class are skills and things that you can apply on real life scenarios. As you have read in the description, this course is for absolute beginners. What does that mean? Well, that means that this course is not meant to get you a job at a FAANG company. That stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. So this course, although it is meant to get you started in web development and teach you the basics, is not meant to get you a job in one of those companies. Rather, it's meant to establish those foundations that you will need to continue your education further in the future. So what do I mean by this? Well, you will soon realize, or perhaps you have already realized, that there are a lot of technologies, frameworks, and libraries that are being used to create the web nowadays. In this course, we will not be touching any of those. Rather, we will concentrate in learning the very basic technologies that every single web page is made out of. But I am aware that if you came to this course, it means that you don't know any of these three technologies, as this is a course for beginners. Again, I repeat. And this is the mindset that I want to take throughout the course, because this is the mindset that will help me to explain things better, since I know what it's like to be a beginner, and I know what it's like to try to understand the terms and jargon that you are not familiar with. Therefore, I want to start by explaining what is web development. Web development, as it sounds, it is the development of the web. But I know that you might be wondering, what is the web? Well, the web is simply a site on the internet. And the internet, it is a protocol in which computers can communicate with each other. So think of the internet as a library. The library is full of books. And in the library, when you go, you request a specific book that you want to read. When you know what kind of book you want to read, you go to the librarian and you ask for that specific book. We can apply this same scenario to the internet and the web. The internet would be the library where all the books are stored, and a website would be one specific book in that library. Therefore, think of web development as kind of writing a book. Now, as you have seen in the web, especially nowadays, there are many cool websites that include videos and pictures, sounds, and all these cool vector designs and a lot of other things. So if we keep our example of a book, let's just say that we'll be writing a book with a lot of pictures in it. That is web development in a nutshell. So what can you expect after this course? Well, after this course, you can expect to be able to understand the foundations and the basics of web development. We will be learning the three core technologies that make up every single web page in the internet. So while we are learning, at the same time, we will be creating a real website that you will be able to put on the internet. This website will be full of many cool interactions, as hamburger buttons, a countdown, pictures, and many other things. Therefore, by the end of this course, you will have the knowledge and the skills necessary to build your own website. Throughout the course, we will have a lot of challenges as well, in which you will be able to do the thing on your own, and then after that I will go ahead and explain it. Also, at the bottom of every video, there will be a PDF with the notes for that specific class. So make sure that you download the PDF at the end of every class so that you can look at the notes if you forget something. As we said, we will be exploring the three main technologies that make up the web, and you might be wondering, what are these three technologies? Well, if you haven't heard of it, these three technologies are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Perhaps none of these things make sense to you right now, but I promise you that you will become very familiar with them and very comfortable writing in these scripts and languages as we walk through the course. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are nothing but files that are filled with markup language and code. So what are the advantages between programming your own application and using one of these very popular software tools that allow you to create your own website based on a drag and drop basis? Well, the answer is very simple, and I will take an approach of two answers. The first one being is that writing your own code will allow for way more flexibility than if you were using any of these technologies. When you are using something like Wix Squarespace or Webflow, you have to stick to the regulations, to the rules, and to the templates that they provide. You cannot create something that they do not offer, and therefore you are very limited. With code, however, there is no limitations. The only limitation is your imagination. The next reason is that although these tools are helpful when you want to create your own small website, they are not very helpful if you want to create a very robust application. Also, it is very probable that they will not land you a job at the next big tech company. So in case that you are wondering whether coding is still relevant, yes, it is very relevant and is not going anywhere anytime soon. One more thing I want to address before we move to our next video is that you don't have to have an extremely high IQ to start coding. You don't have to be at the top of your class in order to learn how to code. I say this from a personal experience because I was never the type of a techie person you can say that was involved in technology or logic or analytics. I was more on the artsy side. I loved to paint and sculpt and all these artsy stuff since I was a kid. Therefore, the idea that I was gonna be coding one day was completely foreign to me. So don't be scared if you think that perhaps coding is not for you because you have never been the kind of a techie person. And you can absolutely do it because coding is as much of an art as it is of a science. To finish up this video, I want to leave you with a small list of the things that helped me to learn coding. One of the things that really helped me was practicing. There is nothing like practicing. If you learn something, whatever you learn in the class for that day, put it into practice. Start typing the stuff. Even if you don't plan on publishing it on the web, at least for the mere sake of just putting the stuff that you learned into practice. As you gain knowledge, start making more and more complex files. Perhaps in the next week you will be learning only how to set a header or how to set a small paragraph. But throughout this course you will be learning a lot of helpful tools and skills that will help you to develop more and more complex pages. The next thing that helped me was having a specific time in which I was dedicated solely to code and I didn't have any interruptions. For me, the time that worked the best was early in the morning before I started my day, because at that point everything is quiet, there is no one interrupting you, and so you are able to concentrate. However, this is just my personal experience, but you do whatever works out better for you. Search that hour, search that time that works better for you, where you think that you won't have any interruptions and you will be able to give your full concentration to coding. Next up, I would recommend that you join community-based platforms. Perhaps even a Facebook page where there are people with the same interest as you. I know that Reddit and Stack Overflow are very helpful and you will find a lot of other people that are in the same journey as you. Also, you will be able not only to share your content and your ideas with them, but you will be able to learn from people that have been doing this for longer than you have. Okay, so with that being said, we are done with the introduction of this video. Thank you again, and let's get our hands dirty and start coding. Happy coding, and God bless you.